welcome to Gilson Lavis Q&A session. We've got some questions from you viewers out there. Firstly, thank you very much for sending these questions in. Okay, the first question is from C. Barnsley. He says, how do you prepare and rehearse for a show like Hootenanny?
Well, it's very limited. It's on BBC Time, and as we all know, the BBC has cut everything to the bone. So what happens is we're usually on tour. I will get a CD. It used to be cassettes. I will get a CD or MP3 of the tracks that are proposed by both the artist or Julian or the producer. I then play them in the car as we're travelling between shows the week before we go into rehearsals. 9 times out of 10, those songs are changed. So, you know, I don't listen too carefully because I usually get changed. Then we go into Julian's studio for one afternoon where we run the brass arrangements and top and tail the songs. The next day we go to the BBC and we have one afternoon where we do the sound check, where that is the first time we meet the artists. We have 2 run-throughs, 2 from top to bottom of each song with each artist. We play them twice, then they go away. There's usually 9 artists or maybe 10 artists, so there's quite a lot of work. And then the next day, in the afternoon, we do the camera check, which is where we run the songs once with the cameras taking shots. Sometimes we run them twice if the cameras aren't right. And then we do the show, and that's it.
My God. Tight schedule then.
Tight schedule. And I don't read a note of music because I'm dyslexic.
God.
So I have to remember it all, but it's okay. I usually, when I'm playing, I'm remembering the next bar that comes along. I don't, you know, if you ask me at the start of a song how this ends, I couldn't tell you because I've got no idea, but hopefully by the time I get there, I'll remember.
Right, right. Next question from M. Shipley from Southampton. Said, you've been blessed to have been played with many artists. If there was one artist you would like to have performed, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Oh, Frank Sinatra.
Really?
Yeah, just the governor. Well, there's so many actually. Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, Gene Vincent. In a jazz field, I would have loved to have sat in and played with Dave Brubeck. That beautiful touch of his. There are so many. I'll have to land on one. Frank Sinatra, this incredible big band that were as one unit with just mind-blowing arrangements, and having the governor out there sort of topping it. What a joy! What a thrill! You know, when I started to play, I really wanted to be the drummer in a big band. That's when I started to play the drums way back when I was a young lad, 13, 14. And I never dreamed I actually would. And in fact, there's only one sort of professional big band now working in the country, and I happen to be the drummer, you know, so how did that happen? I've no idea.
Yeah, as I said, you know, so, you know, very few of us are blessed. Very few of us are blessed like
it's
that.
It's more luck than judgment,
yeah, that's it,
Jerome.
yeah. Oh my God. Well, this is my question actually. As a seasoned touring musician, how do you organize yourself on the road, meaning time, preparation, and how do you keep your spirits up? As I imagine, there's a discipline routine, predictable, and can sometimes be a solitary existence at times.
It can be. I mean, it is a life of extremes. And I'm sure there are jobs out there that are even more extreme than mine. This isn't a complaint. This is an observation. Whereas I walk into a venue and there's, you know, how many thousand people and a dressing room full of brass players and their girlfriends and wives, and it's all great going on, and you walk out, hopefully they're clapping and cheering, and you do a show. Then you get in your car, you shut the door, and you're by yourself. You get to a hotel, you shut the door, you're by yourself. And it's this extreme of isolation and being around so many people. And being the sort of imperfect human being that I am, I find problems with both. I find being around too many people a bit oppressive, and I find being alone for long periods rather mentally taxing. So I have to work out a balance between the two. The way I do that, I don't spend too much time in dressing rooms. I like to arrive at an opportune time and leave at an opportune time. I don't drink or do any of that stuff either. And that really helps me stay focused on the road. And I do stop on the way to hotel between journeys. I will stop. I'll have coffees. I'll explore a town centre. I'll go for a walk. I'll stop. I'll look at a view. I'll take pictures, so that I'm part of the world. I'm not just in this.
Right.
You know. So, and also I'll read, and I try and rest as well because I'm getting older now. 63 this year.
Wow.
So I like to get some rest in the afternoon before a show too. It's important not to short sell the audience or the other musicians. You know, I'm paid to play the drums as best I can. You know, and it's it's my responsibility to try and do that to the best of my ability. You know, that's what the job is.
Carry on from that. Funny enough, this next question is from N. Dexter from Newcastle, and he or she says here, how do you balance home life and work life?
Very tolerant wife is and her family. It is tricky, but it's got easier. There was in the heady days of my misuse of alcohol and stuff, there was always a real fractious time when I got back, and I would be away for much longer periods than I am now. We used to tour America a lot with Squeeze, and I'd be away months at a time, and there'd be this different dynamic when I came home. So the dynamic, my wife would have to adjust to the new dynamic, and there was usually fractious outbursts. You know, the end of the returning home argument. You know, that would always. It's not like that today. I think there's a lot more acceptance that goes on. My wife, God bless her, she's a lovely lady, Nikki. She's got her own life too. She's a dance instructor and a fitness instructor, and she does ballet, and she's got a lot of stuff going on. And when I come home, I'm busy. I'm a painter too, so I'm painting and doing other stuff. So our lives intertwine, but we're not joined at the hip anymore. We have our own lives. Yes. So this dynamic isn't so drastic when I get home. You know.
It's being respectful of
it's
each other's space.
It's being respectful, absolutely, you know.
Yeah.
But it's not being not so needy as well. As you get older, I'm not so, you know, tell me you love me. That sort of eases up a bit, doesn't it? Yeah.
This next question is a musical question. It's from B. Walden from Glasgow. He said, as a live and studio musician, are you influenced by song and melody or rhythm and drums?
That's too hard to pin down. It varies from performance to performance, almost from moment to moment, Jerome. It's if I'm playing drums with a singer that has a lot of passion and evokes a lot of emotion in their voice and their lyrics, then it's really my job to keep out of the way and try and be a carpet for them to stand on, to be who they want to be. If there is a guitarist or a singer or a player that wants it in the groove, wants to be part of the stuff that's going on in the middle of it, then that's my job to part the waves and say, come in, you see. So it varies, you know. I think if there is an art to what I do, and I personally think it's more of a craft than an art, if there is, it's about being able to spot what is needed, when it's needed, and being able to deliver it. That's what it's about, really.
Right. Another one of my questions, I always ask you this because you've been around for, you know,
too
a long time, you know, to do that. Now, no better person to ask this question, but the music business has changed vastly over the past, even through the past decades over time. Does it serve the music and the musician these days?
No, it serves the public. It's all about what is saleable these days. Music, in its simplest form, has become very cheap. You can download it for free. You know, there are Spotify things. People don't even have to buy another record or another piece of music. They can rent it. You know, it's got very, very cheap, but it's also got very broad. Whereas it used to be in a band, you needed somebody with a van, somebody with somewhere to rehearse, somebody with money to buy gear, and then to make a record, you needed somebody to finance it, somebody studio. You can do all this in a bedroom now. You can do
Yes.
all this in one room with a pair of headphones and a laptop.
Right.
You can do all that.
Yeah.
What you can't do is go out and tour, go out and play. Then you're into another environment. So in many ways, it's got broader. To get into the music business and be a musician, the opportunities are much, much broader. To be successful and make a living has got harder.
Right, okay. What's in the pipeline for Gilson Lavis, and what's in your future?
God willing, I'll be playing the drums for a few more years yet, although I must admit I'm starting to feel my age a bit, but that's okay. When it really starts to tell on my playing, then I'll think seriously about doing something else. But of course, I'm a painter, and I've had some painting exhibitions recently, and they seem to be very successful. I've had several commissions and sold quite a few works, and so my other job is slowly coming more to the fore of being a painter, and I really love it. I love doing that, and I love getting the feedback, and I really enjoy it, Jerome. In fact, you've got one of my sketches. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I
you did one for me.
Yeah, I did.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, a portrait
In a
of
dressing
myself.
room one day.
Yeah,
wasn't
that's in my studio.
it? Is it?
That's it. Well, anyway, on that note, Gilson Lavis, bless you. Thank you so much for doing this interview for My Bad and Dangerous. Wish you, from My Bad and Dangerous, we wish you the best luck in the world.
Thank you, and you,
Thank you
sir,
very much,
and you,
sir.
and you. Thank you very much. Really
Okay.
enjoyed it.
I'm still here. Hope you enjoyed that Q&A session with Jerome Marcus and the legend Gilson Lavis. For the full interview and all our videos, check the links over there. Give them a like, give them a share if you've got a mind to do it. Next up, coming soon, our chat with Johnny Jenkins, erstwhile drummer with The Example. In the meantime, sleep tight.